Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
What's good, guys? What's up? Welcome back to First Cut Live, another episode where we're talking about what's good and what's up in the news. Which it seems like there's not much to talk about today, guys. Nothing at all. But thankfully, I'm here with the crew, with the starting lineup. Mr. RB3 in the house. What's up, bro?
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Happy to be here. Oh my God, Jake Yacovetta is dropping some news in the chat. Oh my gosh. RIP to sorry, y'all, I didn't mean to start the intro that way. I didn't expect that.
What's up, man? What are you?
Jake Yacovetta said RIP Tommy Little Lester. People don't know that's Debo. That's Debo from Friday.
Yeah, of course, man. This guy's awesome.
He was amazing. He was a church member, fellow church member, church I went to, Los Angeles. And he also used to live down the street from my grandma. So yeah, I didn't know that.
That's really too bad. Obviously, that's definitely not
the way I want to start the stream. Yeah, my bad, y'all.
Obviously, all prayers and all love out to his family.
Yeah.
Definitely an amazing actor, a fun actor, an actor who can do a lot of roles, and someone that we all love. So obviously, our hearts go out to him.
Yeah. But let's get to some HBO Max.
Sabrina, what's up, girl?
Hey, I'm chilling. I'm doing my thing.
I like your tree.
Thank you. Getting into that spirit. Ornaments are put up and a little porg on top. So that's for you, Andres.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. So obviously, we're here to talk about the biggest news that's going on today. And obviously, that is, where is James Harden going? That is the...
It's a big news story right now, for sure.
This is all NBA show, bro. I'm bringing it back. Last week it was Russ to the Wizards. This week is where's James Harden going? Yeah. He was spotted at little baby's birthday.
You
see that?
Yeah, he's spotted at like six strip clubs a week now. Like,
bro, it's too much, man. There's a pandemic going on, man. Like, if there's no pandemic,
is too much. Yeah. I mean, 5, you're pushing it, but 6.
Yeah.
When there's a pandemic, you'd be like, all right, man.
Yeah. And he's not showing up to practice. He's just showing up to strip club. Yeah, come on, man.
Come on, James.
Yeah.
But low key, I kind of want to see Ben Simmons at the Rockets, but that's just me. Either way, guys, that's not what we're talking about today. Obviously, let's start out with Mr. Nolan taking shots, literally taking shots with his sniper. He was at the Video Game Awards right now, I think, presenting an award. So there you go, Chris Nolan presenting a Video Game Award. Because low key, like, I was gonna make this show all about the Video Game Awards, if I'm being honest, just because I feel like they're taking over anyways.
Yeah.
But either way, RB3, I want to get your thoughts, man. Obviously, we talked about the HBO Max news last week and kind of what that means for the future of movies. Now we have filmmakers, studios, financiers, investors kind of speaking up. Obviously, the two biggest ones are Nolan. Nolan's the biggest, but John is the most vocal. John Chu from In the Heights. He's the one who's the most pissed. I mean, him and Nolan are the most pissed. But Nolan straight up was like, yo, HBO Max is whack. He's straight up talking crap. So I want to get your thoughts, man, real quick before we go to the Disney Plus news.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it's interesting, right? Because I do think, Warner Brothers has always kind of been like the studio that had the reputation for like filmmakers first. Like, we're the studio of the filmmakers. Filmmakers love us. They love working here. And you see it's evident, through people like Clint Eastwood has been working there for a long time. A lot of directors have worked for Warner Brothers for a long time, But what's funny about this decision is that at least what Nolan is implying and what John Chu is implying, I guess, too, and I'm sure Patty Jenkins and all these people, is that, they weren't even consulted when the decision came up about putting their movies on HBO Max, which that, is a little disturbing to me because, a lot of times when you look at these industry contracts and studios contracts and entertainment industry stuff, a lot of times in these contracts, they put a clause in there called future technologies, right? And like what that is essentially signing away for is like, hey, like, we're going to give you what you're asking for right now, but you know, we still retain rights for future technology. And you know, sometimes that's like Blu-ray evolution, all that kind of stuff. But that key point, you know, and a lot of contracts are coming into play right now because like this is new technology. Like this whole streaming thing is new things. Now we might be looking at a case where, you know, these directors and actors and all these people in the industry might have signed deals saying they're going to get some sort of back end points or some sort of box office deal because of, you know, how much money the movie makes. And, you know, in the contract, you know, and because they're not actually going to the box office, because they're not actually going to theaters, Warner Brothers probably has all legal right to say, yeah, F that. We don't need to give you any kind of cut. We don't need to give you any kind of whatever. So it hurts the creatives. It hurts all of that. I do, again, like I've said from the beginning, like I like streaming. I love the idea of streaming. I like it giving more accessibility to stuff. And I like it giving opportunity to creators and opportunity to filmmakers. But this looks like this kind of taking away from the opportunity that these filmmakers are asking for. It looks like they didn't even consult them, which is kind of weird. Like, at least like if you're going to do this plan, like at least like get everybody like in the movies who are involved, get LeBron in the room, get, you know, the Wachowski, Lena Wachowski, get all those people, you know, from Matrix, get everybody in the room, John Chu, Nolan, Patty Jenkins, get everybody in the room and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to proceed forward. You know,
if they did that, you really think they would have all been like, yeah, that's cool.
I think so. I mean, I
really,
well, they might have not been cool, but there at least might have been like some sort of conversation had. I think this is just an evidence of they consulted them, because I'm sure if they would have consulted them, they all would have opposed. And I think that's the key part. Saying. Like they probably avoided that conversation because they didn't want that to happen. So,
yeah,
you know.
Sabrina.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything that RB3 said. You know, I think at least if they would have kind of consulted other people, I heard a lot that they were making these announcements 30 minutes after letting everybody know. So nobody had any say. And of course they have you know, the hand in this situation, but I feel like consulting the filmmakers that have put so much time, energy, years into a lot of these big films, because Denis Villeneuve just came out with the exact same thing. A lot of these filmmakers are coming after Warner Brothers with this entire HBO Max thing. And because think about it, you put so much time and energy into something, your own project that you love, and it's not going to be viewed or consumed the way that you intended. And so that definitely is rough. And so overall, kind of my thoughts on the deal are the same still as last week. Like, it makes sense, but I wish they would have went about it in a better way, a healthier way of doing it for their creatives, for the filmmakers, because Christopher Nolan has done like a dozen movies with Warner Brothers, a dozen. And that's the thing, they had this relationship.
Yeah, can I push back a little bit just to play devil's advocate? This all started because they did consult Christopher Nolan, because they did sit down with him and put him in a room and were like, hey, what should we do? And he was like, put my movie out in theater now. And they were like, I mean, there's a pandemic going on. I don't know if that's a good idea. And then they were like, no, put my movie in a theater now. And that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, but Nolan would have just done the same thing Nolan does. He just does what Nolan does, and that's why they're kind of in this mess, is because they didn't listen to Nolan, and that's why they decided to put all their movies on streaming, is because they did listen to Nolan. So I in a way am kind of like, yes, you're right. This is the filmmakers want to see this in a big screen. They want to get the correct contracts. They want to have an audience watch their films, especially like the big movies that people make. Because I'm sure like the smaller indie filmmakers nowadays are kind of just like expecting it to go to streaming. But you're right, the Wachowskis, the Denis, the Patty Jenkins of the world, those kind of filmmakers probably don't want what they just got, or even John Chu.
Yeah, or even, I'm sorry, I even joked about LeBron, but I'm sure this is probably Space Jam 2. Listen, maybe I have a little nostalgia connected to this, but like I thought it was going to be a big moment to see.
You're riding that high on that ring, bro.
Oh, I mean, yeah, maybe.
Y'all Lakers fans need to chill, bro.
Well, no, I mean, he's been producing a lot of great. I mean, he has like a great relationship with HBO. He has that show on HBO, and he has a bunch of stuff going on. But I mean, to me, you know, I think I mean, to me, I feel like, you know, something like a Space Jam is like a historic thing for Black communities, because when the first Space Jam came out, that was during an era where we didn't see a lot of basketball movies, particularly targeted towards kids. And seeing Michael Jordan being put at the All-Star, I'm just saying it's a difference if it's just going straight to streaming. And I'm sure that's not making a lot of parties happy. But before we continue, and I just dropped my phone, so I'm so stupid. But we do have a really, really special donation from Jake Yakavetta. That just came in. Oh, wait, can we hear it? No. Okay, let me try it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna figure out why I can't hear it, and then we'll get back to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I absolutely understand these filmmakers' point of view. However, if you interview the average filmmaker, based on these scenarios and based on these restraints, the average filmmaker is going to want to have their movie play in theaters, regardless of COVID, regardless of pandemic, regardless of where it is. They kind of don't care. They're kind of worried about the bottom line as far as getting money to their movie. However many lives it costs, like, they don't care. They just want to have their movie play in a theater and have people watch it. So that's why I feel like it's a little, I don't know. I just feel like it's like asking a kid, like, who shouldn't have ice cream if they want ice cream. Like, you shouldn't ask the kid. You should kind of be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have ice cream tonight. It's one of those things where it's like, you can't ignore the COVID in the room. It's there. However, there should be a consulting thing. I'm not saying there shouldn't be, and they shouldn't have consulted them. They absolutely should have.
But also, I think obviously, like last week,
Aya Coffetta donated $300. RB3 buy your lady something nice. Is buy some Blu-rays to study for Saturday. Sabrina, please buy Brandon a new face.
Oh no, we're getting heated.
Thank you, Jake Yakavetta, supporting the show in a big way. Thank you. And again, people, if you want to donate and contribute, firstcut.live is the place to go. Firstcut.live. And again, any and all donations, we split, our share. So, like, help us out, help us support the show, help us support ourselves. And by the way, Jake, I saw your Twitter DM. I'm gonna send you that video right when I get off the stream today. I'll send you the video right when I get off the stream.
One more thing pushing back, Andres, is like, something that we have to think about. They are going to continue doing this going forward. There's no doubt about that. This is not just a 2021 thing, like they've said. This is going to continue. So I think this kind of like distrust that they've had by turning their backs on so many people in this situation, not consulting with them first, isn't really going to bode well for the future. Who's going to want to work with a studio that didn't even let creators have their shot at? Even just thinking about, maybe we just push it back. Maybe Denis Villeneuve would have been like, yo, let's just push it back to 2022. Let's do something like this. I really just don't want this to be on streaming. Obviously, Christopher Nolan's a little different. His film already came out and it did bomb. We've talked about it so much over the summer. But I think it's just a little different, and they are going to continue doing this. And that's just kind of where this makes me nervous, because especially for theaters and the people that work at theaters. I just feel like this is setting up something that's not going to end really well. And so I think Christopher Nolan's comments, it's not coming from the greatest like source at this time, because his film has already come out. But I do think he made points. I do think everything he's saying, how, this is like one decision that they think is going to benefit them for a short period of time, but it's ultimately going to be their destruction. Yeah. I do think that kind of makes sense. For 2021, I understand and I agree. And I'm like, yeah, but maybe they should have given filmmakers the option to push back their films, or some filmmakers, if they're done, to push it forward and be like, hey, do you want this to be released? And have these conversations, because obviously I think we have like 17 films coming out for 2021. Maybe a few of them, they could have gotten into some negotiation where it's like, okay, this isn't what I wanted, but I'm going to do it because I do want my film to be seen and I do want it to come out soon and not sit on a shelf. It's kind of really difficult. That's why it's just a conversation would have been nice. Because like I'm saying, I don't want to watch Dune on my laptop in the corner of my apartment. I'm hoping I can go to a theater by October, but nothing's guaranteed at this point. And I'm going to want to see it the second it drops. That is just not the ideal situation.
Sure. And I won't. I mean, I said that last week. I really won't. But that's just me. A lot of people will. Oh, will you really?
I think
I won't. I just can't. I will pay $20. I will not see it on my laptop. I refuse.
But if theaters are safe though, you'll pay the $20. Like, what if it comes out?
But it's December, right? Isn't it?
No, it's October.
Okay.
Dune comes out October 20.
I'll drive to somewhere.
Well, so that's the interesting thing too, right? I think that's also a conversation that could have been had. Like, if your film was on the cusp, like, because I listen, I'm not doubting Dr. Fauci no more. Like, everything this dude says has been like 100% on the money, right? So at least according to him, he said that that we could start seeing a return in normalcy by the beginning of September, right? Beginning of September. So if they're saying that, I would have maybe made a deal like, hey, maybe the movies in the first half of the year are HBO Max and theatrical release, and maybe the second half of the year it goes back to the traditional model, or maybe certain movies that are in that like latter half of the year, wave out of the HBO Max thing. I think I think having that conversation and going through the decision making and the planning with the creators involved, because I think frankly that's the thing, and we're gonna talk about more with the investors thing with Disney too. But I think a lot of times investors just make decisions without talking to creatives or thinking about the creatives, and that really sucks. I think that hurts the industry too a little bit. So
yes, I agree. I really do. I'm always going to be pro filmmaker. I'm always going to be pro creative. However, just like, and I know I'm sorry, Sabrina, but just like the NBA, like you can't just like do whatever you want. Like, there is a pandemic going on. So if you ask the filmmaker, hey, do you want to have your film in a theater or on streaming? All of them are going to say theater. You can't just be like, sure, in a theater. Like, there's a pandemic going on. You can't just allow players to do whatever they want and go to clubs without masks and go to strip clubs without masks. Sorry, James Harden. But like, you can't. Like, there should be rules to this game when there's a pandemic going on. And if you're not going to, you can't just toss movies out in theaters and be like, yo, if he dies, they die. Like, you can't just do that, bro. Like, there's a pandemic going on. Yes, we want to see the film in a theater. Everyone does. That's just not reality anymore. Like, that's just facts right now. I told you guys like a couple of days ago, it's like the parents who are mad about the at-home learning. Like, yeah, it's upsetting. Yeah, it pisses parents off, but that's reality. That's facts. Like, you can't just be like, get your pitchforks out and start going to the schools. Like, that's not how it works, man. Like, there is a pandemic. You can't just ignore it anymore. I don't know. Those are my final thoughts. Let's move on to Disney Plus. They did their investor meeting today. I honestly have been catching up. I told you guys in text that I just got home recently, so I've been reading, and I still don't think I've gotten halfway through everything they've announced. Obviously, at the top of my list personally, it's the Lucasfilm stuff. But I want to go to you guys. You guys aren't Star Wars people. So I want to hear what stood out to you as far as this investor meeting, any show or any TV series or any movie that was announced that you were kind of excited for?
I'm a fan of Star Wars. I'm not a fan of Star Wars to the extent that you are, but when I was growing up, it was something that was really special to me over the last few years, just because of the fan base and how passionate they are, and somehow that sometimes like it can get to a negative place. That's just kind of pushed me away from expressing it openly all the time. But damn, my overall thoughts just in general, the one thing that stood out to me is I don't understand how we're going to be able to consume this much content. I know it's over a few years, but there was like 10 Star Wars shows, 10 Marvel shows, like 15 other series, and then a bunch of Disney like feature films. I just feel like that's a lot of content, and a lot of it's going straight to Disney Plus. So that worries me again about theaters. It's like, because we are talking about over the next few years, in a few years, we'll be okay. Like, we'll have to be okay in a few years, and they're going to still put huge Disney movies straight to streaming.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, Sabrina. Last week, I told you guys, I said series are like the killer of theaters, and Disney Plus just came back from the HBO Max news, and they were like, hold my beer. Because they were like, oh, you want to kill theaters? Oh, we gonna murk theaters. We gonna straight up decapitate them, because we gonna drop like 40 series of Star Wars, like 20 series of Marvel, put like a ton of crap on Hulu, and just like launch an international platform called Star. Like Disney straight up just took out a bazooka and just aimed it right at the face of theaters. To me, like, I don't get why people aren't reacting the same way as the HBO Max. I guess it's because it's the 2021 schedule and it's supposed to be the major movies, but this is very similar to kind of this like streaming only F theaters. We'll only put like 3 movies in theaters. That's it. And that's like, okay, like that's kind of going to murk theaters too. I don't know. What are your thoughts, RB3?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could kind of see that, but you know, to be honest, like a lot of stuff has already kind of been announced. You know what I mean? Like at least on the Marvel,
Lucasfilm.
Well, I mean, yeah, but there's been speculation for a lot of this stuff for a long time. It just not seems
that
like
many. That's a lot. That's a lot more than.
Come on,
as a Star Wars fan, did you really think Acolyte was Acolyte, bro? Like,
well, I don't know what that is. I don't know what
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they're just throwing in a couple random ones. I mean, they're doing.
That's not like.
Well, they're doing a couple random ones with the Marvel stuff.
The only
too,
ones
like,
we knew about was Obi-Wan, Cassian Andor, and the Bad Batch. That's it. Everything.
But the Lando one's
really
been
quick.
floating around
This
for a long
is
time.
Lando.
Going off of kind of like in between both of you guys, I'm on the same way with RB3 where I'm like, I feel like I've heard rumblings of this for so long, of most of what we've had kind of confirmed today. But the thing is, I also feel like they just went on like fan Reddits and fan pages and they're like, what do they want to see? All right, y'all want to see Ahsoka? Let's do an Ahsoka series. You guys want to see this? It just feels like it's a lot of fan service, and I hope that creates great content. Like, I hope all of this ends up great, but I just feel like they're doing so much at once. And obviously, we kind of already had the Taika film announced like a hot minute ago, and then they like confirmed it again today. So I feel like there's been rumblings of a lot of this stuff for a while. So I understand what RB3 is saying there.
Yeah, but you just said a little bit ago, Sabrina, that this is too much.
Well, it's
that's.
But you know,
so what should we say? Too much, or like this was all stuff we know? It's not a lot, and I'm like.
I mean,
yes,
but
it is.
It's over the next few years, like confirmed finally. Now it is a lot. That's a lot of content to be putting out. And like I said in my tweet, I was like, if it's quality, sure. I am not. It makes me disappointed just because I don't think I'm going to be able to check out a lot of this stuff. It's just way too much. I still want to see new releases in other genres besides Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't want to see them spread themselves too thin. That's my thing. Like, I think you can have all these series and you can have all this stuff. Like, I think for me, like, as long as they're focusing on these projects like one by one, then, you know, totally. But, you know, when you get to when you get to the Marvel stuff, right? Like the stuff they already have in development, WandaVision looks good. Falcon looks good. Loki looks like they filmed a lot of it, looks good. Hawkeye looks good, right? And what if they already animated like a bunch of it, right? Now, the Ironheart one, I think that has a lot of potential to be a really big one, especially with Don Cheadle. I could definitely see that being huge. And I can also see the Secret Wars one being good. But I think, like, you know, they have to be careful as to still give enough attention to the movies, because at the end of the day, the series aren't going to float anywhere without the movies. You know what I mean? And we've seen the Netflix series come and go. We've seen the, you know, unfortunately, you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come and go, and the cultural like mainstay. And same thing with Agent Carter, and same thing with their Hulu series. So like the series can run their course, but if the movies are still impacting, the movies are still hitting, and there's still a way to connect it to a bigger universe through the movies, absolutely. And that's what it's looking like. At the same time, you know, part of me wonders how much attention Disney is focusing on this and how much they are not focusing on Spider-Man. Because I feel like the new Spider-Man new Spider-Man 3 that they're doing is getting so far caught in Sony's hands that it's going to become a garbled mess.
It is. I don't think they care anymore, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and
this is the last one.
Yeah, and you could just see like they're just throwing the kitchen sink at it. So again, I don't want the quality of the films to diminish because of streaming. Again, Disney fell into that trap in the 90s with the direct-to-video sequels, and they shouldn't fall into that trap again. So.
I agree with you, because I do feel like, well, I don't know, man. I have so many hot takes. I'm the king of hot takes right now, and I know I'm not going to say it because it's too much, and I don't want Star Wars Twitter to come at me. But here's my thing. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's start with Marvel, just because Marvel is the one you mentioned, RB3. So you mentioned Ironheart. Ironheart is actually not Don Cheadle. It's the Riri Williams one.
Yes, yeah. But isn't Don Cheadle in it? He's like.
I don't think so because Don Cheadle has his own show called Armor Wars.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, so Armor Wars is about Don Cheadle, War Machine. Ironheart is about Riri. Moon Knight is obviously Moon Knight. Hawkeye, She-Hulk, we all knew that. Miss Marvel, we knew that. Secret Invasion is a Samuel L. Jackson show with Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
And then the two movies were Captain Marvel 2, Fantastic Four, and Ant-Man and the Wasp again. The one obviously that stands out is Fantastic Four just because it's the biggest like property. But here's my thing. We haven't seen WandaVision yet. Obviously, I'm excited for WandaVision. I saw the trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm excited for that as well. I think it looks pretty good. Here's my thing. I think a lot of people get caught up on the series aspect of certain things and automatically assume because we have a few more episodes that it's automatically better than what you can do in a feature film. I just feel like that's a weird thing that's going around people where they're like, oh, series are better. It's not even close. And I'm like, is it better? Or do we think it's better just because it's a few more episodes? So I don't know how the Marvel shows are going to be. Maybe they're going to be awesome. Maybe they're not going to be awesome. I don't know. But either way, that's my thing. I don't want the quality to diminish in the films and in the movies, if I'm being honest, because I do feel like if we get a little too, how do I say this, network TV, we're going to start to get a little too winking at the camera, a little too quirky for my taste, especially with Mr. MCU that loves Mr. Quirk. Like if we start to get a little too like network TV, like superhero, like CW, there we go. That's a perfect example. Like if we start to go in that route where it's like super CW-y, Flash, no offense to the CW, no offense to those shows, but those are so like ridiculous and quirky and like, I don't think I can handle it. That's my fear for the TV series. And RB3 is like, deuces, I'm out. I don't like what you're saying, bro. But no, Sabrina, I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. That's my biggest thing is just, I'm not going to be able to check out all of this. I will definitely pick and choose what I can spend my time watching when it comes to seeing an entire show. And I agree what you're saying about television, where everybody talks about how, you can draw a story out further. So for some stories, that works great. But like I watched The Queen's Gambit and I loved it. But I think it could have been a better movie overall than like a series because I spent so many hours with this character and I don't feel like, I don't know, I feel like by the time we got towards the end, we had already done so much, we had learned so much, and the big climax of the film, or the series, didn't really work as well. Like I kind of just assumed it was going there because we had spent so much time with her. And also the first two episodes were so much exposition. It's something that you could totally sprinkle out like flashbacks in the beginning of a film. And so for certain stories, I love to see it drawn out into a series. But if it's not necessary, then I would rather not. So hopefully with all of these, of course, like Ms. Marvel, stuff like that, stuff I'm really looking forward to. WandaVision is going to be the first one I think that we get to see. Loki. I feel like we're spending a lot of time with these characters that we already know. And I hope it's not just like, oh, hi, Jinx. Like this is just little entertaining week by week, because I'm kind of already getting a little tired of The Mandalorian this season. If I'm being honest, I enjoy it. I have a good time with it. But I feel like it's just kind of the same thing over and over again each episode. So after I finish it, I'm elated. And then as I sit on it, I just start to kind of pick it apart just a little bit more. So that's the biggest thing. If they can tell these stories in a way that exactly what you said, not like a CW show, because that just doesn't tonally fit with kind of how the films are and everything. And I hope they do spend a lot of time and love and care on Spider-Man 3, because the amount of things that we're going to be getting in that film every day, it's been a meme this entire week. That's something we haven't even mentioned yet. Yeah. Every single day, we're hearing more and more and more about this freaking film. And it has the potential with all of this stuff to totally be a mess. I don't think that's going to happen, but there's a lot that they have to cram into this.
Yeah, it really is like we're starting to slip, and I really hope RB3 comes back. I don't know if he wants to, but it's up to him.
I'm here. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. It really starts to, we're kind of starting to go into the memification of movies and of series, if that makes sense. However, here's my thing, Sabrina. You brought it up. The reason why Netflix does that, Queen's Gambit, I haven't seen it, if I'm being honest. But to be honest, if you ask any Netflix person why they do 10 episode, 1 hour each, it's because they want to keep people on their platform. A lot of the times they do sacrifice story for keeping people on a platform because series allows them.
Oh, do we lose him?
Everyone's that's frozen.
Oh, it was just him. Okay, I thought it was me.
Yeah.
Lost you for a second.
Did you guys hear everything I said or no?
A little bit, just for a second you cut out. Yeah.
So my thing is like they do these long series because they want to keep people on the platform. And a lot of the time that sacrifices story and people kind of ignore that because they're just assuming like this is just how it is, but it doesn't have to be that way. And sometimes I feel personally like maybe we should, that's the power of feature films is that you can do something powerful in a short time. The power of short series is you can do the same. But the problem is if you extend that for the sake of extending it, like no offense, a few of the Netflix Marvel shows were always 2 episodes, 3 episodes too long, like almost all of them, except for maybe like season 2 of Daredevil, which I think is perfect, or Jessica Jones season 1. Shout out to those two.
Jessica Jones was perfect.
But Jessica Jones season 2 is like, But either way, my thing is like, I have a problem with that. And I feel like Disney Plus is starting to get into that avenue of like, all we have to do is spend more time with Tom Hiddleston and they'll love it. And it's like, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, Loki's dead, fam. No offense, but it's like, I don't know if there's no stakes, then I don't think I'll necessarily be like, rah, rah, here we go, hanging out with Loki.
That's exactly what I was talking about when I mentioned hijinks, because that's the series that I have in mind. I think it's just going to be Loki doing a ton of hijinks, and that's totally great if it's something interesting and it's something that like makes us actually excited for each episode. But if it's just the same thing over and over again, I'm not going to like it. Also, I see people in the chat clowning on me. Queen's Gambit is awesome. I just think as I was watching it, I just think it would have been a better movie. I really liked it though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just the thing, right? Like there used to be a point in movies where like a 4-hour movie would be like normal. Not normal, but like, you know, it wouldn't be too out of touch to be like, here's a 3.5 hour movie. Like Lawrence of Arabia or like Gone with the Wind or whatever. But like now, we kind of live in like now it's like, you know, instead of having a 3.5 hour film, people prefer to have 4 50-minute episodes. And that it just makes it easier to consume. So, you know, I could totally get that aspect of it. And I like I said, I like series. Like there are certain series like The Undoing, like all the stuff on HBO Max is amazing. But again, you're right, Andres. I don't want to see them go cheap on these Marvel series, especially not something like Hawkeye or Falcon and Winter Soldier or the Secret Invasion. Like it seems like Secret Invasion could set up for Secret Wars, which is like a huge storyline. And it seems like that's something they're going in the direction of with all this multiverse stuff. So they just gotta be careful. You know, don't get your bridges too caught up. And, you know, as much as, and I'm going back to Spider-Man thing real quick, just to say, like, you know, I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite character. I'm always rooting for a good Spider-Man movie. But, you know, people, this is smelling like Spider-Man 3 or The Amazing Spider-Man 2, like all over again. I don't know why people are so stupid to not like realize, like, you know, like the problem with Spider-Man 3 was that there was 3 villains. The problem with The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was that there was 4 villains. And now there's 6 villains that they're about to do. And it's like, no, what's wrong with you? Don't get stupid with me. Like, just know this is gonna suck. I think it's gonna suck. So
yeah, I think we're starting to reach a point, and maybe it's just me, where I think there's so much goodwill, right? That's the word, goodwill of the fans, that they're like, we can do anything. All we have to do is throw like it's more algorithm based, right? Where if you have 30 minutes of some of your favorite characters, your endorphins go up in your brain and you click the like button more and more. Like that's kind of what it is. Like it really is this weird social experiment of like if you put something that I know and I recognize nostalgia, pump it in my brain, endorphins go up. I can pump up I like this. And it's like, it's starting to dumb down a little bit of quality of certain things. I really do think that's something that I'm personally afraid of. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't freeze throughout my speech. Let me move on to Lucasfilm before we close out the show. So Lucasfilm obviously announced a ton of TV shows. We do have the ones we did know, which is Cassian Andor, Obi-Wan. Let me see what else. I wrote this down and now I lost my notes. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Obi-Wan, Cassian Andor, Bad Batch, The Acolyte, Rangers of the New Republic, and then Visions, Lando, and then the other ones are movies. So Indiana Jones, the Taika Waititi Star Wars movie, Rogue Squadron with Patty Jenkins, A Droid Story. We also have Children of Blood and Blood. I think I said that. And then what am I missing? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So what stood out? I know you guys aren't like super into like the Star Wars world, but what stood out to you guys?
Well, I mean, the Taika Waititi thing is always dope to me. I didn't know Patty Jenkins was in talks to do a Rogue Squadron movie. That's pretty dope. But part of me also knows that the history of Lucasfilm and them having kind of rocky, especially in the Disney era, of them having rocky relationships with directors. So I'm cautiously optimistic. But yeah, when it comes to like the series, like A Droid Story, I wonder what that's about. I wonder, Lando seems dope. I just, they're getting the guy who did Dear White People, which is one of my favorite movies, and a really great series as well, to showrun. Yeah. So all of that stuff is exciting, but as long as there's no like Gina Carano's or anything like that, like I'll be watching
RB3,
these like the first day.
Can I break some news for you?
Uh-oh.
I'm not saying this is what it is, but it probably is what it is. You're not watching The Mandalorian, but if you were watching The Mandalorian, you would say that Rangers of the New Republic sounds very Gina Carano's show to me. That's kind of where she is right now in The Mandalorian, and that's what it says as a description. It says, taking place during the time of The Mandalorian, this follows the Rangers of the New Republic, and that's exactly what happened to Gina Carano last episode. So I was like, oh no, there really is a Gina Carano spin-off show.
Yeah.
What is going on? Like, do they not realize?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't believe, like, instead of like, they're like doubling, tripling down on it.
Yeah.
By giving her own show. Or probably giving her own show. I don't know. Sabrina, take it away.
No, exactly. Everything that you said. Obviously, we don't know the exact details, but that's what it seems like. And if they do go that direction, hell no. Like, I wasn't here when you guys first talked about that situation. I was on a trip for my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And I cannot believe still at this point that they have not said anything. They have not had any. It's gotten worse since then, actually, even
it's
like her behavior
way
online. So much worse. And they have not said anything. They have not fired her. And if they proceed to give her an entire like spin-off show, I will completely not be consuming any of this stuff. Like, for real, I'll just be over it at this point, because people do have a responsibility to portray themselves a certain way. I was like joking where I was like, I've been seeing so many celebrities, like earlier today, like Lucas Black is like, oh, liberty over safety. I was like, what do you mean by that? Like the safety of other people? So I was just like, damn, I wish I didn't know this about all of these people, but I'm glad I do at the same time, because I know who to support and who not to. And this would be a situation where she has gone way too far.
Yes.
Way too far. Not just irresponsibility at this point. She has completely gone too far in her social media. And if they proceed to put her in another show, I'm not here for any of this. It's not like I'm just going to skip it. It's that I'm just not going to watch any of that.
Yeah. So here's my spiel. Obviously, I agree with you. And honestly, even if I am a Star Wars fan, I actually might not watch it, considering I just don't want to support that either. Even if I have to do it as Star Wars media person, I don't care. Here is where I think this is exciting. Lando, to me, is exciting. I agree, RB3. The movies, I'm a little not iffy on, but it's like, okay, so we have a standalone Rogue Squadron movie. Patty Jenkins, cool. It'll probably be just like really cool action and some cool stories, similar to the video game. Taika Waititi, cool. We'll see what that is. Children of Blood and Bone has been like announced like 5 years ago. I remember that announcement. I don't know if you guys have read that book. It's by Tommy Adewani. I'm probably going to mispronounce her name. But it's a very, very popular book. It's going to be directed by Rick Famuyiwa, I think.
Oh, nice. Hey.
Yeah. So it's about a African princess who gets powers, I believe.
Is this Lucasfilm or? Oh wow, this is from Lucasfilm.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Dope.
So they announced this like 5 years ago. But that to me is exciting. That's super exciting to me. As far as the shows I'm most excited for, obviously Obi-Wan and Cassian Andor are the two that I've been talking about for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm interested about the Acolyte just because it's about the dark side or whatever, which sounds pretty cool. Obviously the anime shorts thing. I love watching anime Star Wars. I think it's incredible, even if it's like galaxies of heroes or whatever that show is called on YouTube. It's for kids, but I still watch it because I think it's cool. Yeah, I'm trepidatious, but I'm still slightly optimistic. Obviously, Tommy, Malcolm said it in the chat. Tommy Adeyemi. She's Nigerian. Yeah.
Nice.
She's like a year younger than me or two. Like 2 years younger than me. She's incredible.
By the way, do we want to touch on like the stuff in the Disney animation and Pixar stuff too, or? Yeah, I mean, it'll just
I'm
be.
just playing. I'm playing.
Well, I mean, it's up to. I mean, after we finish Star Wars talk, of course.
I have two.
I have some other stuff too. Let me just finish real quick. That's probably my most excited one. And then obviously everyone keeps talking about it in the chat. MK Songbirds just said Hayden coming back. Hayden Christensen, man, just give homie a chance. Like give him a shot. Give him another chance. Like bring him back. Like the guy's been nothing but like nice and supportive. Like he just got his girl stolen by Bill Hader. Sorry, but like homie needs to catch a break, bro. Like I love Hayden Christensen. I love the prequels. Let's bring him back, baby. Let's go. Hayden and Obi-Wan were the best parts of that of the sequels, anyways. So I'm happy to bring him back. Give him a chance.
Yeah,
right. You can say what you wanted to, Sabrina.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to talk about that. I like that he's getting a chance to like redeem himself because I feel like this happens with every single person. So it's not just him. For some reason, every single Star Wars actor just gets like absolutely targeted by fans in some specific way, whether it is Kelly Marie Tran or Jake Lloyd back in the day or John Boyega or even Daisy Ridley.
Ridley.
Yeah.
No, Daisy Ridley got like bullied off Twitter and bullied off Instagram. Like people don't remember that. People always are like, yeah, she's fine. No, she got bullied off Instagram.
By one specific group, basically for her. And so that was one of the things that I want to mention because hopefully people can actually appreciate him. Obviously he hasn't had a lot in his filmography or anything after that. And it's just kind of sad to see. I want to see it. I just saw a poster for like a film he did with, I think like Emma Roberts or something like that. It was a few years ago. One of those like D movie, like low budget rom-coms, like super crappy. So let's give him this shot, please. I'd love to see it. And also, is the film with Taika Waititi the one that was announced like months ago with Christy Wilson Carnes writing the screenplay?
Yes.
Then hell yeah. I think that's going to be awesome because she co-wrote 1917 and I think she did
I just
great
rewatched
job
that.
with that.
Yeah. I
Great job
rewatched
with
that 2 days ago and I was like, oh lordy. This is a great movie. Sorry.
Yeah. So that's probably out of everything. That's what I'm most excited about. And I'm hesitant about all the other news because I'm nervous it's just going to be this like overload.
Yeah.
Go ahead, RB3. Yeah.
Well, are we talking about?
Animation. Yeah. Let's do it.
Animation. Yeah. Okay. So
I don't know if I'm going to pay for, but sure.
No, I'm a big fan of animation. Ray and the Last Dragon, I'm excited about that. Baymax, that's the one. I'm in the minority. I don't like Big Hero 6 like at all. But I do like Baymax. That was the one part of the movie I did like, and he's getting his own series, so that's dope. Zootopia, y'all know my thoughts on Zootopia. Young guy get me riled up. They're doing a Zootopia series though, so there we go. The big things that stand out are also to the Encanto. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing that. With Lin-Manuel Miranda is writing the music for. But the ones that stand out to me most are and I don't know if Destiny, did you hear about this? But they're making a Princess and the Frog series called Tiana. They're doing that, and they're doing a series for Moana too. So
that's right.
Yeah, so they're doing a Moana.
I like
Tiana
both
series.
of those pieces of news.
I like them too. Part of me, does wonder like why didn't they make these into movie sequels instead of series sequels? But and part of me also thinks of like the crappy Disney Channel series sequels that they used to do in the early 2000s.
That's exactly where my head goes.
Yeah, that's exactly where my mind went. But if they get good creative people behind it, it could be really dope and really really special for kids. And just going off the Pixar stuff real quick, their Spark shorts have actually been phenomenal, and I'm excited to see what their next one's going to be. I'm excited to see what their first actual animated series is going to be. I never would think Pixar is going to do an animated series. And the Lightyear with Chris Evans being playing a young Tim Allen, I think it's hilarious because obviously Tim Allen is a Republican and Chris Evans is like a stark liberal. So that's what stands out for me in the animation stuff. But yeah, Tiana and Moana are the two things that kind of caught my eye the most.
What do you think about the paywall for Raya and the Dragon? Because I wanted to see that, and now I'm like, oh crap, I gotta pay.
I get it. I mean, I do, but they got to stop doing it with the minority films. Like they can't keep is Mulan in this? Like what the freak, man? Like hey,
that's what I'm saying.
Is there a pattern going on? Like they're not want Asian people to see these movies for free? Like what the freak? I don't know. I don't get that. Why
are they doing this? I don't get it. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited for it because we have I believe it's a Latino director, right? It's Carlos Lopez Estrada.
Yeah, I think
the guy
so.
who did Blind Spotting.
Yes.
He's doing Raya and the Last Dragon, so I like the guy. I mean, he's like a year older than me too, which also makes me upset. But yeah, I mean that is I mean you got to be real, man. I want to see that, but then again, I'm just like crap. I got to pay for it, bro. Like I was so excited for Soul, seeing it with my fam.
Yeah,
and now I gotta pay for Raya.
That's is that premium? So Soul is not premium access, but Raya is.
No, but Raya is. I think it's another $30. Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
So that's why I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think. Also, the thing with Mulan, it still didn't do well, but we had the film that came before, the animated one that everybody still loved to this day. I feel like it's really, really tough to put these kinds of films behind a paywall. People are just not going to be interested in spending $30 on top of it. There's no way.
I will say people are probably more likely to spend it on an animated film than a Mulan. I'll say that. Like, 'cause Scoob did really well behind a paywall.
So did your favorite movie of the year, Trolls.
Yeah, World Trolls Tour. 2. Yeah, Trolls World Tour did amazing.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing I had was the new Alien series for FX, Hulu. Make it R-rated as hell.
By my guy Noah Hawley.
Noah Hawley and Ridley Scott teaming up.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because Noah Hawley was developing a Doctor Doom movie. I guess they're just throwing that out the window. But I don't know if people. I actually haven't seen Fargo season 4 yet, but everybody's been telling me it's phenomenal. And you know how much I love Noah Hawley. Maybe there's a way that we could see a Legion kind of cross over into this MCU multiverse now since they're doing all this craziness. I don't know. Maybe.
I still think they're trying to kill that, but that's just my opinion. I'm just being real. I really do feel like they're trying to get as far away from 20th Century Fox X-Men stuff. But I think this is like the most exciting thing. Noah Hawley and Ridley Scott and Alien, and it's on FX right after we got like the really cool shit like Atlanta and Devs and all this other really cool shows on FX. Like that to me is like, out of everything that was announced today, I was like, okay, You got me there, bro. If there's something that competes with the franchises, Alien is up there for me.
Yeah,
So you mean to tell me you're not excited about the Kardashians announcement?
Yeah, I am kind of shocked that they were like, "Oh, what a great idea! To get the Kardashians on Hulu."
Oh, what? They did what?
Why?
Yeah, the Kardashians, they announced it. They're going on Hulu.
Oh,
They just spent like 20
exclusively?
seasons. Yeah, they spent like 20 seasons with
nice.
E. They're done with E, going to Hulu. I'm just over. I thought that was the worst news out of everything.
Dang, that's nuts. I will say though, and I completely forgot. Never mind.
Oh, sorry.
No, it was
I
something
mentioned
about
the Kardashians.
yeah, something about something. I forgot.
To me, also obviously Captain Marvel 2 is cool. I again really like Captain Marvel, but we knew that already, and we knew the director behind it too. And then they announced another one. Oh yeah, Black Panther 2 as well.
Not recasting Chadwick.
Not recasting Chadwick, and they're saying they're just going to do a Wakanda, like focus on Wakanda is what they said. Yeah. Anything else, guys, that stands out for you?
Nothing that stands out for me. We could go to the chat. We have a couple super chats that came in.
Oh, let's do it.
We have one from Fabrizio Rodas. RB3 is right. 90% of these shows were rumored. The only ones that were new were the Droids/Visions. The Acolyte is a rumor High Republic show since August. That's what Fabioso said. Faberico, I'm sorry. And then we have one from Wish Williams. The problem with the CW shows is the low budget mixed with going on 20 episodes per season. Have any of you seen Dark? It's one of my top 3 favorite TV shows. I haven't, but people have been telling me about that for a minute. They've been telling me
Yeah, I haven't. I know it's the German show, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, Andres, wait a minute. Did you start Gangs of London?
I did.
And
I can't finish it, man.
Why?
Because I don't know if you want to talk about it on air, but because it's not finished on Amazon Prime, they only have the 2-episode or 3-episode preview, but you have to pay for AMC Premium or Amazon Premium to watch it.
Oh,
Well, I tweeted about this. I said, I literally want to watch the show, and I can only watch it in one form. Like, I would actually pay for it because I was that hooked. I wanted to see the show so bad. And it's like, I would pay for it, but they're still like, oh, you have to pay. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I guess I'm never going to watch it.
Dude, it's amazing, man.
It is exactly what I thought it was. It's like ghetto Game of Thrones. And I love it. I'm like, bro, ghetto Game of Thrones with like action scenes and like martial arts and like knife fights and like stabbing in the thigh and shit. Like,
dude, I gotta figure out a way to get you on the Geeks of Color thing. Because, dude, the fifth episode 5 is mind blowing.
I left off on episode 3.
Oh man.
Yeah, that homie is like too much, bro. He's like Aaron Yeager.
Oh, Sean? Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna kill everyone. I'm just gonna kill them all. And I'm like, bro, chill.
That's my show, man.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's all I got, man. And obviously, I'm probably gonna keep up tonight and tweet out a bunch of crap about my thoughts for each one of them. Because again, I just saw the list. I didn't even have time to read about it. But yeah, guys, unless we have anything else you want to get into,
we got to talk about your upcoming match on Saturday. The big.
Yeah, I mean, you want to do this on air, but I feel like everyone knows at this point. Like we got Chris Jericho and crap, so it's like it's been in the making, it's been done. But I'm still excited to see what comes of it. If you guys want to see my reaction to the match, I'm going to be on the Let's Get Ready to Schmodown podcast YouTube channel. So you can catch me there to see my thoughts and reaction, but it's definitely going to be a lot. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'm not, man. I mean, do you have any final words for Alex Damon, going into the match? Or
again, it's really hard for me to pretend that we're actually shooting on Saturday. But may the best man win. It's gonna be
hey, man, you gotta fire up a little bit before this match, man. Come on, man. Let's get you in the gym. Let's get you. That's the term Michael B. Jordan in here. Oh, by the way, people, we have to figure out some sort of incentive structure for getting people to donate. Like, because I miss doing the impressions on SCN, but we don't do impressions on this show. So I feel like I want to just maybe we go you know how SCN you gotta donate 20 to get impressions. Maybe you gotta do 50 on here. Maybe I'll bust out a Michael B. Jordan for the sake of it.
And we've been missing it,
Vegeta.
trust me.
Huh?
I'll annoy everyone and bring back Vegeta.
Oh yes.
I'll do Grace Randolph. That's the only one I could do.
That's a good one.
We're gonna get like 100 dislikes from your fans.
Hey man. Hey.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm excited for Saturday. Obviously, I'm so pumped. But if I'm being honest, I'm excited to see the other matches too. Adam Collins, Dan Murrell, the tag team match, Shazam. I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, my boy Chandru taking it against Chance Ellison.
Yeah, we gonna do a clean sweep on Swag. That's right.
Yeah.
We got Andres taking the Star Wars belt. We got Chandru taking the Inner Geekdom belt. Unfortunately, Paul and Lon didn't make it past the Odd Couple. But
They almost did.
They
though.
almost did.
It was
They were
like 1
real
point.
close. I mean, yeah, they're almost there. But Swag Squad had an amazing year this season. Depending on what happens going forward. Sorry, go ahead.
Happy birthday to Winston, man. It's
Today's
Winston's birthday today.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Happy birthday, Winston.
Happy birthday, Winston.
Yeah. I'm also excited to see. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Winston. Let's go, coach. Let's go, coach. It's like Phil Jackson's birthday in this house. Like I was saying though, yeah, we had amazing. I keep dropping my phone. We had an amazing year on Swag, no matter how we come out of the outcomes, because I think it literally swings from if we're gonna get first place or not from this weekend. But if we don't get first place, which I think we will, I'm pretty sure we will. But if we don't, we had a really great run. So
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not. But Malcolm in the chat is saying what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything about. I'm just saying it's not live on Saturday, so that's why it's hard for me to be like, oh, it's going down live Saturday. It's not really live, but yes, you'll see it live on Saturday. I'm still excited for it. I'm so interested to see every single match and how everything plays out, and I'm pumped. I'm excited. So definitely catch me on Let's Get Rid of This Schmodown. But shout out to Winston. Shout out to KO, to Corruption. Shout out to Finstock Exchange. To everyone who's in the spectacular this Saturday, the Rock Stars, all of them, they're great. Every faction that's doing their thing, killing it for the Schmodown. They really put in a lot of work.
yeah.
Everyone behind the scenes as well. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be watching and catching up as well. So
This is actually the first spectacular that I had no participation in,
no
behind
way.
the scenes or anything like that. Yeah, because the first year I started was the first spectacular, and I remember being there for that.
yeah, it's my first year in the Schmodown, and I made it to the spectacular, bro. There you go.
Yeah. Talk that talk. That's right.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Winston. That's pretty much all I have. Thank you guys for watching and for listening. Make sure you guys subscribe here to First Cut if you haven't done so already.
First cut to 4K.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. If there's any new listeners today, we have gotten. I don't know what the algorithm did. Did they touch us? Did they bless us? I don't know what's going on, but we're kicking it up, people. I didn't think the 4K by the end of the year was going to be possible, but we picking up numbers. Share this. And, obviously you can support the show through firstcut.live, but also it's just as easy as hitting that like button. The like button literally does so much. It puts us in so many more subscription boxes, recommendations. It puts us higher in the algorithm and gets recommended to more people. Ultimately, that helps us grow. That helps us support ourselves. That helps us not have to come on here and be like, please donate to us on First Cut Live. We won't have to do that as much if there's more people watching. So please, it's free. Just one click, that like button. Hit that like button and leave a comment if you're watching on the replay.
Yeah, and obviously this Sunday, guys, I am back at it again with the Attack on Titan. The 5 people that watched last week are back. I really did appreciate each and every one of you in the chat. If you like Attack on Titan, if you're keeping up with season 4, make sure you guys tune in. Me and Ben Goddard are going through episode 2. Reiner is back. Let's go. Beast Titan, Armor Titan kicking ass. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Either way, Sunday, catch us live. I believe we're going at 4 p.m. PST this Sunday.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in right after you see the episode and watch Attack on Titan live, or Attack on Titan is what we're calling it.
Attack on Titan. I like that. I like that. Thank you, Malcolm, for just subscribing too. Thank you, Malcolm, for just subscribing to the channel.
Hey, thank you.
Where can everyone find you, RB3?
Find me on Twitter, Instagram at Director RB3.
Sabrina.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Sabrina X Monica, also on Twitter at Sabrina on Film, and patreon.com/Sabrina on Film. Doing a really fun watch along tomorrow, the night before. Cinematic masterpiece, holiday classic. I'm pumped.
You can follow me, guys, at Squad Leader Ace. Obviously, I'm going to tweet a lot about this Disney Plus stuff and Attack on Titan and The Spectacular. If you watch The Spectacular, give that a thumbs up as well. Support those guys at the Schmoedown. It's going to be a lot of fun. And subscribe here to First Cut TMO. Do everything RB3 told you to do. And follow us on social media at First Cut TMO. Either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we're peacing out. Peace.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Take you out the equation. It's either me or you. You do the math. Only one can remain.
It's Britney, bitch.